happy belated Halloween, and also happy All Saints Sunday. Depending on when you're watching this, I may be off the mark for both those things. For the heck of it, also, happy Reformation Day. There. Bases covered. Whenever you're watching this, sit back and relax, because we're not looking for any leader today. Just talking about Halloween and Martin Luther. Also, as a side note, I'm sorry for the terrible video quality, but the lighting is bad because it's all cloudy out here and yeah, you get it. The lighting's bad, so it's gonna look all grainy. But in any case, the devil is a big liar. It says in John 8:44, Satan is a liar and the father of lies. We have to know just how to decipher the phony things that he says. Now, don't get me wrong, the devil doesn't usually come and actually talk to people. He says things through other people. The devil doesn't play trick-or-treat. He only tricks. Here are some things the devil tries to say through people. You might hear people say the devil doesn't really exist. You might hear people say that he does exist, but he's so powerful you can't do anything. You might hear people say people can get to heaven just by being a good person. You might hear people say that there are many ways to get to heaven, and following Jesus is just one of them. You might even hear people say that everything you see on TV about the devil is true. Among those, the biggest lie is that you can get to heaven through any way other than Jesus, especially by just being good. But here's what the truth is. God saved you through faith as an act of kindness. Faith. He saved you through belief in Jesus. Now let's talk about a guy who also talked about faith in Jesus. The man I'm referring to is Martin Luther. Not Martin Luther King, Martin Luther. He played a Halloween trick in 1517, 500 years ago. He didn't mean to play a trick, but that trick changed the world. Originally, Martin Luther was studying law. He went home from school to visit his parents, and a storm happened. He was almost hit by lightning. He prayed that if he survived, he'd become a monk. He did survive, and so he kept his promise and became a monk. He was a man racked with guilt. He realized more and more how much he did wrong. Luther believed he would never get to heaven with all this sin. But he studied the Bible. He learned that verse I read earlier, God saved you through faith, and it changed his life. But the church at the time was telling people they had to earn their way to heaven, and you could buy forgiveness from the church. Luther got so angry with this, he wrote up 95 things wrong with the church and nailed it to the door in Wittenberg, Germany on Halloween of 1517. Luther got into a lot of trouble for challenging the church, but he said he could only teach the Bible. He debated and discussed with the church leaders, and people started hearing the truth more and more. You could only get to heaven through Jesus, God's gift. People were so mad at him that they tried to kill him. But it's thanks to Martin Luther that the church doesn't fall for the devil's trick anymore.